Guys, my name is Chioma and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get more videos from me. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about toxic families and does your family love you? Throughout this video, I am well aware that I'm going to be making points that some people may or may not agree with, and I just want to encourage you to leave a comment down below what you think, and if there is anything that you think that I'm not considering or I'm leaving out, like, let me know down below. And we're here to all grow. Now, these are my opinions, doesn't mean that you have to accept them. I'm just here to share them. Personally, I think we have overused the word toxic in just normal social media culture or whatever. I feel like we're the toxic person or toxic friend or toxic situations. Like, we've overused the word that anything that is slightly inconvenient to us is now called toxic, which I don't believe should be the case. And in this video, I am going to be telling you why I think a lot of the so-called toxic families are not toxic. Now, I am well aware about abusive situations or family situations that are not ideal, where people are being emotionally abused or physically abused, and it is a toxic environment. That being said, a lot of people just feel like they are the center of the world. They are resistant to discipline, and anything that is slightly inconvenient, like I said, seems like toxic to them. I personally feel like everyone just wants to be involved in this struggle culture and be relatable with like memes or whatever. So like, just like they want to feel like, oh, I've been there, or I've suffered, or I've struggled, even when you had a loving home, a family that cared about you, parents that provided for you and protected you. But because everybody is saying your family is toxic, now you're looking for that one thing that your mom does that you don't really like, or that one argument that you have, and now you're calling your parents toxic. The Bible says that in the last days, people are going to be lovers of themselves, and you can just see that everywhere. Like, I feel like I want to be so conscious about the way I handle certain things. Yes, I want to draw boundaries in my life, like keep people who are not good for me away from me, but I don't want to become so self-absorbed or self-worship, which I think a lot of people are moving around with narcissistic tendencies, and they worship themselves, and they're so full of themselves, and they think that the world starts and ends with them, and anything that's slightly inconvenient to them is like the end of the world, which I it's a problematic thing as far as I'm concerned. We just find that a lot of people are like allergic to discipline and correction. It doesn't mean that their parents are toxic, they just don't want to listen to anyone. They feel like whatever they want to do is the right thing to do. Okay, so look at this. You're 16 years old, your parents provide your food for you, the shelter over your head, the clothes on your back, literally everything. They strive to protect you, they're trying to create a future for you, they're planning for your education for you, and they have bills to pay, from car insurances to probably life insurances, to make sure that if anything happens to them, you're covered. They are paying your mortgage, or they're handling their businesses or working for someone else. They're having to deal with other people outside of stuff. They are not upping and quitting their jobs because they have you to take care of, but because they don't want you to go to a concert. All of a sudden, all their hard work, all the love and the care and all the things that they do so wholeheartedly for you becomes none and void. You know, like, it just becomes nothing to you, and you just feel like, oh, my parents are being toxic because I didn't get my way. Think about the situation also. Your parents are immigrants. They came here out of nothing. They struggled, and they're in survival mode like every single day. They never had a chance to dream, but luckily for you, you're assimilated to the culture. Nobody's making fun of you for your language or your accent, or the fact that you're not in a situation where you have no family around and you have to make a way for yourself. You have your family, you have that support. But because they said they want you to be a doctor and you don't want to be a doctor, I want to be a comedian, all of a sudden your parents are toxic. They're not toxic, they love you. They just don't see a future in the way that you want to go. So I think we should all know Gary Vee by now. So he talks about your parents not understanding where you're coming from. They might not understand your vision. They don't share that with you. But if you have a vision, you're not supposed to insult your parents. After everything that they provided for you, they gave you the life that gave you the ability to even see that vision for yourself. They gave you the life that made you see that you're capable of doing what you want to do. They might not share that enthusiasm with you. They might not see your vision. They don't share your passion. You can speak kindly to them, but you cannot be under your parents' roof, them taking care of every single thing, every single bill for you, providing for you. You don't have to pay for your food, even if you go out and you eat, but you don't have to do that. They take care of you, and then you want to do what you want in their house. Like Gary would say, put on your big boy or big girl pants, move out your parents' house if you really want to fulfill that dream on your own, and go do that stuff for yourself. It doesn't cancel out all the love, all the support, all the protection, all the provision that your parents have poured into your life. That single thing that you don't agree on or you don't see face to face on does not cancel all the support that they have given you. It doesn't make them toxic. It just means that they don't see where you're coming from. It just means that they don't share your vision or your passion. It just means that they struggle to get to where they are, and they don't want you to struggle like them, because as long as you're concerned, the path that you're taking might not lead to anything good. They are comfortable with being comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you have this fiery passion and you want to do what you want to do, go out and do it. Leave your parents' house. If you want to do things, then grow up and do it. You don't have to become condescending, go on social media and call your parent toxic. I just feel like everybody wants to buy into this struggle culture that isn't even relevant. Like, why do you have to suffer? Why do you come from a good home but you want to feel like you suffered like every other person that is actually suffering? Sometimes your parents might love you in a way that you don't understand, but they're really giving their best. The fact that they're not letting you do what you want to do, or the fact that they're correcting you or they're disciplining you, or the fact that they're not saying things the way that you expect them to say, doesn't mean that they don't love you or they don't care about you. And sometimes they might be insensitive to your mental health issues, or they might not really care that you're sad because they said something. They just want you to know that life isn't all about participation trophies, as they say, because they think we are the participation trophy generation. We just get awarded, oh, you're the best, you deserve everything in the world simply because you exist generation. They feel like we don't understand the culture of hard work, of survival, of the things they had to go through to get where they are at this point. They feel like they've given us things, we have it so easy, so we feel like life is supposed to be all breezy and easy. Sometimes parents just want you to know that life is more than getting everything that you want. Sometimes you get knocked down, sometimes you don't get what you want, sometimes things don't work out exactly as you plan it, and those are the lessons they're trying to teach you. And they might seem insensitive, or they don't actually, oh, how are you feeling, or oh my gosh, like, are you mentally okay? They're insensitive to that stuff doesn't mean they don't actually care. You could teach your parents to care about things like this. You could speak to them kindly. If you're accusing them of certain things, then they're not even willing to listen to you. If you're feeling like you have a right to say certain things to them and act all like entitled and whatever, like they don't want to listen to their child that they've given so much up for. Sometimes parents give up their own personal dreams. It doesn't mean you have to give up your personal dreams. It just means you have to speak with kindness to them. You have to talk to them to understand where you're coming from. Lay your own issues on the ground, put it out there for them, speak to them in a way that is not condescending or like, oh, you don't know what's going on, so I wouldn't even bother explaining it to you. You want your parents to explain things to you even if you don't understand it fully, so you should do the same for them. Try to explain things to them, and it's fine if they cannot see it from their point of view. Tell them, Mom, Dad, I know that you just are trying, but you cannot see this thing from my point of view. Give me some time, give me the chance to prove this to you, and work with their timing. I know people who have told their parents, give me 2 years, I don't want to go to college, let me do this thing, right? Or people who are like, okay, Mom and Dad, like, give me 1 month or just give me this space to do this, And sometimes parents are not willing, but there comes a point where there's a way you can speak to them that they will be willing to do that for you. I think we need to learn to set boundaries with kindness. You can't just cut your parents off. I've just seen so many memes or posts and TikToks about like people cutting off their family, cutting off their parents because they don't agree with something that is like important to them. And I'm like, that doesn't really excuse you denying yourself connection with family. Like you're going to go out there and try to find that same unconditional love and support from friends, and you're not gonna get it either. So why do you think your parents are human? They are your parents, but they're also human. They have their flaws, they have their own stories, they have their experiences. They're not coming to burden you with it, but you feel like they should just understand everything that you want. I mean, that feels like someone would think the world should revolve around them for me. It's okay to disagree on certain issues. It's okay to have questions. It's just not an excuse to be disrespectful to your parents. I feel like disrespect is so condoned these days in the name of doing you or loving yourself or being true to yourself. They're your parents. There's an honor, especially with Christians. If you're a Christian, like comment down below like what you think about this, because the Bible says to honor your father and your mother, honor your parents. Where did we lose that value in respecting your parents and respecting what they have to say? I almost got sucked into this whole doing my own thing by myself. Like I had to check myself for real. I'm like, did I just say that? I'm not innocent, like I check myself because everybody's telling you to do you, be true to yourself. But I'm like, I'm a Christian. I live by a different rule. I don't live by the rule of the world or what the world tells you. I mean, like the Bible is so like it's insane for me when I made this discovery, when I checked myself, when the Holy Spirit reminded me of what I am. I'm not of this world. I'm not supposed to do what the world is telling me to do, to put myself first all the time, to dishonor my parents because they are toxic or they don't agree with what I'm saying. I mean, come on, let's think about it. If you're Christian, like I want to know what you think. If you're of any like religious background or you have any spiritual values, like let me know what you think about this, because people are being encouraged to disrespect their families. So I'm going to tell you that for me, I ended up like at a point reacting really harshly to anything my mom had to say. I would like cut her off or just say like things to her in the not right way. I mean, I had a point to make. My points were really valid. My feelings were really valid. Everybody's talking about valid feelings. It doesn't mean, but actually, I'm going to talk about that later. But I found myself just like not being who I am, and I became almost unrecognizable to myself, to my family, to my siblings. I'm like, I'm following what I'm being told is right to do, to stand up for myself. But you can stand up for yourself with love. You can react with compassion to your parents. You can react with understanding. You can place yourself in that person's shoe. You can say, if my child should respond to me like this, like how will I take it? You can step back and not react immediately or respond immediately to things they say. African parents are very snide. Like they say certain things very not the best comments to you, but it doesn't change the fact that they love you. The fact that you have one argument does not totally end the love they have for you. But then you say certain things back at them that stabs them, that hurts them. Come on, we're talking about the blessings of a parent here, especially your mothers. Don't cut them off too fast, is all I'm trying to say. Try to seek understanding. Try to explain yourself. Don't just give up as fast. Don't just say that because your parent isn't listening to you and this person. Okay, now let me talk about that whole your feelings a valid situation. I can feel very happy right now, right? I'm in a very good place. I'm doing this video. If someone should, I don't know, do something in front of my lawn now and it annoys me, and I go out and I'm annoyed and stuff. Like, I am annoyed for a reason. That feeling is valid, right? But it doesn't mean I could sit down now and scroll TikTok and laugh, and maybe for the next 2 hours I totally forget what happened at the lawn. Does that invalidate the feeling of annoyance I felt in the first place? No, it doesn't. You feel your feelings, you try to soak them in, understand them, and then move past them. You don't want to hold on to the fact that, oh, I was angry 2 hours ago, I need to keep being angry. No, you don't. Feel there's nothing as inconsistent or unreliable as your feelings. Like, that's why they say that when you're angry, you shouldn't make certain decisions. Also, when you're happy, you shouldn't make certain decisions because you might make the wrong decision. So, like, why do we base everything off of our feelings? Feelings are very fleeting. They come and they go. They're inconsistent. They're unreliable. When you feel like it's not just about your feeling, it's about your life, it's about what you want that's at stake here, speak to your family with understanding. Don't try to cut them off. Try to have a middle ground. Try to compromise in a way to say, okay, mom and dad, look, I just cannot talk to you guys right now because it gets me to the certain point. They don't understand that. That's fine. If they don't understand that, that's fine. But on your part, you've honored them. You've given them that respect, that reverence. You've tried to talk to them in a nice way. I don't wanna talk about like all the struggles of my family, but I've seen my mother struggle. And I found myself in a place where I'm becoming so resentful and so angry at her because I was being fed this whole culture of self and self and self and self. Your family isn't toxic. You're selfish. You're self-centered, you're self-absorbed. You want to bark and your family jumps for you. You want to bark and your parents answer you. You're not a baby anymore. They're past that. At a point, you have to understand that you are grown. There are expectations from you. And it's fine if it doesn't align. Just be willing to have those conversations. Be willing to have the necessary conversations to mend the situation, to resolve the differences, or to come to a compromise. And even though that compromise doesn't come, let it be said. Let heaven bear you witness. Let people bear you witness. Let your parents from the bottom of their heart know that you respected them, that you gave them the honor due to them, even before you leave. If you feel like you have to draw that boundary, you have to leave to be able to fulfill your own purpose and your own destiny. Let it be known that you gave them that honor, you gave them the chance, you didn't cut them off that quickly. Because God didn't cut you off. We need to slow down on this whole cutting people off culture, for real, especially when it comes to your family. Like, that is something you don't get by moving to another state. You can move to another state and make new friends. You can go to another country and find a new career, but you're never gonna have your family back. Yes, you can say, okay, I'm gonna go marry someone and build my family, but like, are you gonna have kids from that family? Are you going to deny them the opportunity of knowing their grandparents or knowing their cousins because you're estranged from your entire family? I'm talking about like the fact that sometimes it's not your family that's toxic. Sometimes it's you. And it takes maturity to see that. To see that you're the problem. You're the one not making enough efforts. You're the one not giving them a chance. Tell me what you think. I want to really know if people actually are seeing this trend. If the whole push for self is becoming more alienating, you're feeling more alone, you've pushed everybody away, and now you're trying to figure out what to do with yourself. Or sometimes you're looking for a support system and there's no support system. Or sometimes you're just looking for someone to celebrate with you and there's nobody to celebrate with you because you pushed everyone away, family, friends, whoever. Let's filter what we take out of the world, especially as Christians. We need to filter off what we accept and what we don't accept from the world. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below what you're gaining from it, anything else that you want to add to it. If you don't even like the video, give it a thumbs down, but you owe me an explanation as to why you don't like it. So keep that in the comment down below. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more videos from me, and the notification bell so you don't miss any video from me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.